Hello TikTokers, I am the Christian Relationship Counsellor, and today I wanted to pose the question: how do you fulfill the greatest commandment, or the most important commandment? Well, the most important commandment is love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, or with all thy might, some people say. And the second most greatest commandment is love thy neighbour as thyself. Now, when you think about loving the Lord with all your heart, your soul, and all your mind, what does that look like? I mean, how do you do that? So I was thinking about when I think about loving God with all my heart, my soul, and all my mind, I think about waking up each day showing thanks and appreciation for being alive, for being able to enjoy another day. Each day I wake up, I think, well, the first thing I do is that I always say, watch my going out and my coming in and all my footsteps in between. And I'm grateful for actually waking up with all my faculties and my senses, my extremities working. I have a roof over my head. I have a bed to sleep in. I have food in the fridge and in the cupboards. I have a job to go to. I'm able to walk to my job. I'm able to see where I'm going. I'm able to use my indices, my fingers, to type what I need to type. And I have the mental capacity to do my job, make decisions, form judgments. These are things that some of us take for granted. So my first in showing my love for God with all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my mind is to thank and praise and worship Him for giving me this, for giving me, somebody who wakes up and is able to perform another day in the likeness of God as best as my ability. So I think loving God is about showing appreciation. And how do you show appreciation? It is really by when you love somebody, you compliment them, don't you? If he was here, you'd hold them, you'd hug them, you'd kiss them, you'd do what you can to make them happy, wouldn't you? So what do I do to make God happy? I try to do the right thing. From the moment I wake up, often I fail because I'm human, but I try to do the right thing. And that is, for me, about loving God with all my heart, my soul, and with all my mind. And it's about thinking of God. When you're in love with somebody, don't you think about them all the time? They come to your mind every 5 minutes. You're thinking, oh, what are they doing? I wonder if they're thinking of me, that kind of stuff. That is what happens when somebody's on your mind and somebody's in your heart. You care, don't you? You care about how they feel. So when you love God, you care about how He feels about what you're doing, your behaviour, your attitude, your actions. Whatever it is you demonstrate, because you're representing Him. So your behaviour throughout the day is important. If you're telling me that you love God, your behaviour should reflect that in every single way. And then we come to loving your neighbour as yourself. Well, that is presuming you love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love your neighbour. So it's about showing ourselves love. Making sure we forgive ourselves for the wrong we've done. Making sure we forgive other people who have done us wrong along the way. Making sure that when we wake up with appreciation of where we are now, and we're not kind of bemoaning the past and complaining and victimizing ourselves. We're grateful for where we are today. When you love yourself, you want to give yourself the best, don't you? You want to portray the best part of yourself. You want to show the best part of yourself to the world. And you feel worthy of that. You actually wake up thinking, I love myself. Yeah, I'm a good person. I mean well. I don't mean to harm anyone. And when I go out there to do my best. And I show love, I show care, I show empathy. And so that love that I have for myself, forgiving myself for all the wrongs I've done and forgiving those who have wronged me, so I can have a light heart, I'm not heavy, that extends then to my neighbour. If I don't have any malice, bad mind, anger, hostility, resentment within me, when I relate to my neighbour, your neighbour is anybody you come into contact with, that will show. It will show in your demeanour, it will show in your attitude, it will show in your behaviour. So, obeying the greatest commandments, is not really hard. It's only hard because we've become a self-absorbed nation. We've become a selfish nation. We've become a nation that only thinks of themselves and what they want and how things can benefit them. Too many people nowadays are only thinking about themselves and what benefits them. They don't care about the other person. Some of them pretend they care just to get what they want. So we've become that nation of idolaters and narcissists and people who don't really care about other people. If another person couldn't do for them what they wanted, they'd be off. So we are in a self-absorbed state in the world today. And this is where it gets difficult for those people who claim to love God, but really are selfishly motivated. The two of them will not mesh. And it says in the Bible, those who are born out of selfishness, it will not last. They're not going to be welcome in the kingdom. All they do is think about themselves. And some people will do things for other people under the guise that they're not being selfish, but their ultimate goal or their objective is selfishly motivated. They'll do something to get something for themselves. So it's about reaching that stage where you genuinely give selflessly, where you genuinely do for something, for someone, without expecting anything in return for yourself. It's about showing love in a way that it's not calculated, it's not manipulative, it's not as a means to an end, and for it to be coming from your heart. And that is where it gets difficult in these times, because people, they don't even realize why they are doing stuff. They think they're being loving and they think they're doing things out of love, but if they were to check themselves, it's selfishly motivated. It's to get something back. So when God's the basic, the fundamental of the greatest commandments in loving God with all your heart, your soul and your mind is quite easy to do if you relinquish selfishness. Loving yourself is easy to do, providing you take away the selfishness and you learn to forgive others. And loving your neighbour as yourself is just as easy, like I said, provided the selfishness is out of the window and you're giving with a glad heart. So I think I'll stop it there. I am the Christian Relationship Counsellor, giving you my thoughts for today. And please subscribe, share on YouTube at the Christian Relationship Counsellor if you can, and let people know about me. Thank you very much. Bye bye.